All right, beautiful day. We had a good workout yesterday and had another one today. We've working a lot of fundamentals, going a little bit of game plan, but more of just getting back to basics. Last time we'll have an open date for 2 months and trying to get a few people healthy, but having a lot of contact and working against each other, working blitz and short yardage and trying to pick up our pace in terms of being physical. But a good day. We have another one tomorrow and Thursday, and take a couple of days off, and then go back to work on Sunday. Questions?
Two-parter for you, Tommy. When you guys broke down the tape and looked at the offensive line, obviously it looked like Big Hole's live. What did you see that they did well? And then speak to Adrian and kind of how much he's meant as a leader right now.
Well, Waddle's played a lot of football, and the players listen to him, and we're going to play as he plays. He's got a lot of young guys looking up to him. Gallington's trying to find his way at center, but he's getting better. McDaniels is all the way on the other side of the line of scrimmage, so the two young guys are kind of following the lead of the older players. But Waddle's been our big team leader. He works hard. He's so big, sometimes he looks like he's moving slow. But the thing about him is you can't get off of him. He's very physical. Got a penalty the other day, which we don't need. But sometimes you get a little over aggressive. But he's ever since I've been here, he's gotten better each year. He's had good spring practices, and he's been a guy that's been like an Iron Man. He hadn't missed many snaps.
Can you talk about the defense getting ready to go into the Big 12? They've looked stellar in the first 3 games. How much different is there going to be?
Well, it's going to be a much different challenge because we're going to see bigger linemen, offensive linemen. We're going to see more skilled players. There's not much that we can see different in terms of offenses. We've seen option, we've seen spread teams, we've seen 2-back teams, 1-back teams. Big thing is we're playing a lot better technique. Guys are more confident in what they're doing. They're getting lined up and then playing fast. And it really doesn't make any difference who we play. If we keep playing that way, we're not going to shut people out. But we want to play well on every down. The key is getting our offense back on the field. We're a team that can score points, but we need possessions. Last year we couldn't get our offense back on the field. This year, hopefully it's different, but again, it's yet to be seen whether we can do it in Big 12 play. We'll find out starting next week in terms of how we react to 8, 10, 12 play drives, but somebody finding a way to make a play to get us off the field, and that's what was lacking last year. So I feel better going into Big 12 play than I did last year. We've got more depth. We've played more players, but we got to go out and get it done now against a lot better opposition.
Back on the offensive line for a moment, at what point did those guys start to look like kind of what you wanted, or start to reach a physical level that you kind of felt like they needed to play at?
Well, last year at times, we looked like a good offensive line. We just never had any continuity, and I think we're a lot more athletic this year. I saw it in 2 days that we were a lot more athletic. We do a better job against the blitz. We do a better job of staying on the first level, getting to the second level on runs, and we've been more physical. It's hard to be physical when you're going from a 2-point stance, but we're so athletic, and once we get on guys, usually we can hold our blocks a lot longer. So it's a little bit different type of running game than I've been used to over the years. I'm used to more running downhill, but we've done a lot more downhill. We're more 2-back, more 3-back, and we can get to the sideline because we've got speed. But it also helps to have a blocking tight end like Jace and 3 good running backs that stay fresh. So it's a little bit of a combination of our running game being more successful because of not just offensive line, but of the different type of players that we have and the emphasis that we put on the running game.
How are guys like Corker and Tony Morales and Quentin White progressing?
Yeah, Corker's out here today running. He's probably, I'd say, maybe one more game away from really going full speed. He'll help us on special teams. Morales was getting close to being back last week and then had a setback, got twisted a little bit, and kind of threw him back a couple of weeks. So he'll be close to next week. I don't know whether he'll be ready, but he'll end up making the trip, and and help if possible. But he's, you know, again, he's just had tough luck with injuries.
Would you say that the bye week's kind of timely right before conference, and then also getting those guys that are banged up back out there?
I'd rather play this week. You know, I think we're playing well and we're playing consistent. I would imagine you ask Paul Rhodes, he'd say the same thing. And we tried to do it. You know, it's a little bit early to me for an open date, but and we tried to move it to have an open date the next week to kind of break it up. But you know, we couldn't pull that off. So we'll take what we get. And again, it's really not time to give them any rest because we haven't worked long or hard enough. And we don't have that many people hurt, so we're just using it as an extra spring practice.
Is Jeremy Reynolds going to need surgery?
Yeah. He'll need surgery, and he got some pretty good damage. So we'll rehab him for 3 or 4 weeks before we do anything.
Talk about Jakeem Grant. What he's giving you these first 3 weeks?
Yeah, you know, the receivers have to have confidence from the quarterback. In the first year, I mean, you know, they just couldn't depend on him catching the ball every time and running fast routes and really not knowing what to doing. But you know, when your second year here, you either make or break yourself. And Seth's got a lot of confidence in, you know, knowing he's going to be at the right place at the right time. He's going to be full speed. The only problem is, you know, over the middle, seeing him, you know, because he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's a difference maker once he gets the ball in his hands. So we've added him more and more each week to the game plan. So hopefully, you know, he can keep his consistency up.
Who were the players of the game for Saturday?
Oh, players of the game: Kerry Hyder on defense, Seth Dagey on offense. Special teams was Blake Dees. Offensive scout team player was, I can't remember that one, but Dusty, quarterback, was the other one. I'll get back with you that on Aaron.
I'll be here tomorrow.
On the roster's so loaded with receivers, are you still surprised though to see what Eric Ward's been able to do?
Yeah, he shows up every game. You know, the great thing about our receivers right now is they're starting to run full speed routes, catching the ball full speed. Seth knows where they're at. He's got to understand who it is. You know, you got to think of your quarterback. You know, you're running a post route, and you know who's going to run in that post route? Is it Javon Bell, who's going to be faster, or Darren Moore, who's going to be not quite as fast and a little taller? And so it's pretty tough on Seth having 3 guys rotating in at each position, but he's done a good job of it, and I think he'll even get better.